And we are officially recording.
Yay. I like the Discord. My Discord overlay broke. Yay.
Yeah.
We love Discord overlay breaking.
Woo. it only
Nice.
shows.
It's a real nice pastime.
It only shows 2 people are in this call.
Awesome.
Nice. It doesn't tell me who's talking either.
I mean, I don't have Discord overlay up anyway. I don't like it being on my screen.
That's fair. Give me 1 second.
I have it right above the chat, so
All right.
it's out of the way.
It's
and I can still
fixed.
see.
Okay, I am ready. Little Sprout Stormy is ready to officially enter Shadowbringers. The question is this a voiced cutscene? No, I gotta read.
Yep, new expansion. Got to read.
Yeah,
Yep.
fair enough. Good news, Stormy. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently, that's... Oh, ominous music. Well, not so ominous. Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. Hoary boulder. A path I doubt we'd have found had the ironworks and the suns not added... Who are the suns again?
Sons of St. Koinak.
Okay. The ironworks and suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. We better go give them a hand. It sounds like tedious work, but not as tedious as waiting around, I suppose. Let's go give them a hand.
Piss, so
Enjoy your piss. My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is the mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in North Silver Tier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Ooh! Fancy new quest accepted sound.
Yep, every single expansion. I got a new one.
I know. It's just first time hearing it for Shadowbringers. It sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get into a new area and not be able to fly again.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna take the car. The survey site, madam, and it's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. But what if I just flew there? Ori Boulder, he's here. Hello, Tataru. I'll have to remember to cut out all the dead space when my computer's loading.
Or just dead space in general.
Yeah. There he is, Hoary Boulder.
Look how many people there are!
Ooh, voice cutscene.
Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called the chief for some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Welcome back.
And one thing I want to do is either stream the game or OBS to us.
You are right.
What's happening?
One moment. I'm in cutscene.
Stay with me. Focus on my
So you
voice.
can pause the dialogue, so...
Oh, mine is
Let
right.
expanse contract. Eon become
You'll
instant.
just have to cut this.
Wait, this must be it. The device.
It-
Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, hold on.
Safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Okay, there we go. Special dialogue was happening that wasn't listening to the...
Oh, yeah.
And I just hit the recording
Also,
button again.
this loading screen...
It is gorgeous. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so jarring
Biggs.
going
Wedge.
from, like, listening to Volpixie go through A Realm Reborn and hearing
Aye,
all of
aye.
the Realm
Well,
Reborn
we could hardly
voices.
say no to a call for aid from
Yeah,
the
and
Scions.
To
then
then
going back
hear-
to...
Jesse called the
Yeah.
chief for some
War,
other
and everyone's
business,
British now.
so we'll be working twice as hard to
British.
make up for his not being here.
Well, I mean, a lot of the voices in Realm Reborn were still British, but, like,
Thrice as hard, even.
a lot of them were...
No, they were fake British accents.
I was just saying,
They were correct.
that's what I was
We'll
going
find
to
that
say.
beacon
It
in
was a
no
lot of
time.
American actors doing British accents.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
The Omega
Oh,
scythe.
I'll be fine.
That is the Omega
This
Scythe, yeah.
receptionist is not afraid to get her hands
I
dirty.
know it's the Omega Scythe just because that's the same look as his stop.
It was ever so slightly better than my, than the weapon I had been using.
What weapon were you using?
Just the base, level 70
Sorry, I meant to say,
Artifact one.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
scholars
yeah.
haven't finished their preliminary...
The device.
Also, for the one
this is
person who
supposed to
watches
happen?
this, we're talking through this cutscene because
Throw
I've
wide
seen
the
it already.
gates that we may pass.
Technical issues are fun.
Safe journey,
could also
warrior
just
of light.
Exclude
Find
our
our
audio
friends
from the channel.
and bring them home.
Exclude our audio channel from this.
That's
And
the
that's
fun
like-
part. I don't have them separated.
Whose fault is that?
Me. I have mine separated. I could mute myself through this.
The dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're fleeing to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you!
We did everything right. Everything that was
person.
asked of us, and still
that
it came
guy?
to this.
Yeah, I don't remember his name though.
That's because he never told you his name.
Fair enough. So we're traveling to I don't remember what the name of the shard is, but the one that's like being completely drowned in light, yes?
If
Your
first,
time has not
Oh, it's the
yet
first.
come.
holding back the waves of piss. The wall of piss.
Yeah, it's the next card that's going into my wall deck.
Wall
The
of
wall
piss.
of piss.
Just like that, my inventory is filled.
Are you doing submarine
Suicide.
stuff?
No,
Oh,
they're filled with stuffed peppers.
oh, I see. Are you getting culinarian up?
Man.
No. All my gathers and crafters are 100.
Oh, why is your inventory full of stuffed peppers?
Crafting scripts.
Ah. He's surrounded by the dankness.
Because for some reason I have terrible odds, and a 10% chance means I use 27 of them.
I see. Me when I wake up from a bender.
Yeah. Oh god, where am I?
Out in the middle of the purple forest.
Purple.
Purple.
Come watch Urple with me.
From endless dreams I awake.
Sky! It's yellow!
Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Or
Bird.
Burb.
bigger bird. My favorite character from Sesame Street. There was Big Bird and then his dad, Bigger Bird.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not
by
a
the way,
peddler
there's no
himself.
audio.
What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
What's that?
There's no audio.
You mean there's no audio?
There is no audio.
You mean this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me grandad, God rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
The fuck?
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply.
Yeah.
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
Okay, so the first is like drowned in light. Got it.
Yeah.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
Here, look at my ring pop.
Well,
Really like punches
I've
himself in the
roads
face
to
with that thing
travel
when he
and
takes a
wares to
drink.
sell.
More
But
for
you-
me then.
You best hurry along to the town nearby.
What is he, Scottish now?
That wasn't Scottish.
Just head east through the trees and aim for the
It's
shining
his
tower.
chocobo.
You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take
What a
good
nice
care of
chocobo.
you in the Crystarium.
It's the song.
To dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Even then,
Halt.
I don't think you can because it's just purple blob.
Every face in this
Woman.
city I know. Yours, I do
Waning.
not.
Oh, she's like,
This is the threshold of the
Russian?
Crystarium, stranger, and I am
believe
its
it's Icelandic.
gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
either way, I like her voice.
Yeah.
From where do you hail?
I have a feeling.
Uh,
Technically, Ulda's not even the correct answer.
no, it is.
I know that's why where my starting city was, but lore. Because most Moon Mukote get their start in the Black Shroud.
Well, it's not saying where were you born from, it's where
I know.
you reside, which is from Ulda.
I have a feeling. I mean, because they're not going to know where Ulda is. I don't even know if they're going to know what the source is.
Nope.
I don't even know if Stormy should know what the source is. Ulda.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
No such
Had you
place
given
exists.
me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Oh, she's a dancer. Ooh.
That one had eaten.
Oh, hey, it was that ring that
It must
that
have
dude
gulped
had.
down the whole hand. Ring and all.
That weird?
Yeah. Not my friend who offered me a drink. He offered me a drink with that hand.
Sandals.
Everything all right, Captain?
I think I know that voice.
No, you don't.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at
No,
that.
White. And blue.
I do know the voice. I just shouldn't.
Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest.
Are you a
I will
Jolly
escort her to the
Rancher?
Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Did you say, are you
Another
a Jolly
of your
Rancher?
mysterious friends,
Yeah.
is it? I should have known.
I mean, look at his hand.
Very well. I'll inform the others your
That
guest
motherfucker's
is to
a
be given the
blue
run of
raspberry Jolly Rancher.
What flavor? Blue.
Blue.
Blue
Pray
flavored.
forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
I love how she speaks.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you
Wow.
have when we are somewhere more private.
It's the Crystal Exarch. Is that why he's made of rocks?
Yes. That makes sense to me.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and
Must be a
wherefores,
funny
let me
nature of
first
black
thank you for
mage.
answering my summons.
Hold on.
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
You're the one who's been stealing my friends. I like it. Sassy.
Do you have any idea what's trouble you
An
caused?
inkling, yes.
I want to speak
I
to
can
your
only beg your
manager.
forgiveness. Matters here forced my hand.
I want to
all
speak to
shall
your
be explained in
manager,
due course, I
Crystal
promise.
Boy.
Funny stone man.
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by
Right now?
abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
So now that I got you here,
Yeah. I brought you here to speak about your car's extended warranty.
Extended warranty.
Oh, another cutscene.
Oh.
Goodbye, little Stormy.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Those guys look like the Amalja.
Yeah. Welcome to the Crystarium.
The Crystarium.
Also that dude with the chocobo. That's the only chocobo in this entire expansion.
Oh, I see.
yeah. And I noticed that 5 years later.
Yep.
See you two up there. And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Orchestration roll and a white oak weapon coffer.
Okay. It doesn't make sense why I have an umbrella on.
$85. It's not as good as what I have. Oh, whoops. But I think our conversation will be more meaningful where you first gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. You see the path there. Right. Ooh, excuse me. Goodness. A convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being a rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and a connection in the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. After you've done so, walk up the steps to the Aetherite and head out to the left to arrive at the Crystarium Meet. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokesman, Catalyst, one of the people I should like you to meet. Another is Morian. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps, take the exit on the left, and simply continue straight along down until you come across the large doors at the end of the path. I like this weird kind of panning shot around the Aetherite to show you where you're meant to go.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again.
Shame. The third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. Oh, I didn't click. Is this on auto? It is still on auto. I'm a fool. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions are simple enough. Crystal clear. To the right and down the where now? We're gonna do it. I like it. My apologies. I forget how confusing the Crystarium can be for newcomers. Not to worry. I'm sure you'll soon become accustomed to its twists and turns. In all honesty, the true challenge may be finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars, and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, when they ask from whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim you share homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. When you finish making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Now little Stormy comes back up. I gotta go to the event thing to see what I accidentally skipped over. Now a full, frank discussion of the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. There's Morian. Okay, and then the third and final person I'd like to meet is Braggy. The man in charge is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. Okay. Into the Crystarium. I like being able to see people's names, but I can think of a certain somebody that's on my friends list that probably shouldn't show up in recording.
Which one?
He only played with us once. I'm just gonna DM you or put it in the group chat.
Wait, I think I might know.
It was this. Hello, Catless. And goodbye, Tiny Stormy. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized, too. Thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources, and craft all the goods which make the city life possible. This is the only place to visit if you need a coat mended or kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll be handed to you on a plate like those Ilmoran layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor, you don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? The Exarch land. One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. Any friend of his is a friend of ours.
Faraway land of Texas.
It's really quite incredible when you think about it. See, his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence. I see. Pulled the entire thing out of thin air. It was long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base. Desperate for shelter after losing their homes in the flood. To the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower. The place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. Spinny orb. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he, and you, wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you've ought to contribute to that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catalyst, and I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline mean. You can help us keep the cogs of this city greased and turning. I can only weave at a level 40-something thing. Exchange the canvas not too bad life the Mysterium. Orb. It buzz at me. Hold up. Is this down a floor?
No.
Oh, I like the look of the shards. Hello.
Oi.
Oh, the market board. A little braggy. I forgot to turn on Tiny Stormy. Oh well.
Oh well.
I just had it in the party chat. Nothing's been going on in there because I'm not in a party.
Correct.
New to the city, friend. The spitting head and wide eyes gives you away. Rothgar. Welcome. My name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. What does that mean?
What does what mean?
Florid.
Fancy.
In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for mistals such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Actually, Lakote. Mistle? Aye, something wrong? See if we can straighten this out. Those two in front of us. The shorter one is a Hume. The taller one's an elf. Sturdy individual over there is a Galgant. The one with the horns is a Drari. Then you have the large scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zune. I see. It's apparently not the name you know them. Not the name you know them by. I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. The land of the Crystal Boy. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry. Should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. I don't know why, but he's gotten more and more southern as I keep talking.
Yeah.
Exchange with the people of the first. I saw an aetherite shard in the back. Or perhaps not. I don't know where that one is. Hello, Morin. That aetherite shard. Excuse me, miss. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with I'm quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and, well, What I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll, even, a scrap of scribbled-on parchment? My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as my profession. Librarian Morin, at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to record knowledge... Ugh. I can read, I promise. The damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few who do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh, you've an interest in modern history. Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment, and I'll fetch it for you. Yes, children's books!
Yeah, children's books.
We love reading picture books. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable. On with the lesson, then. "100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness." So they're regarded as villains in this world. I mean, I guess I can see why. It kind of flooded the world with light.
Yeah.
In the wake of this...
Bit of an oopsie moment there.
I guess I do have a question, though.
Yeah.
I'll ask it after this cutscene.
Okay.
In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease, until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrant, and Norvrant alone, spared the fate of erasure. I remember that thingy. That was in the trailer. And that one, I think. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from Norvrant's sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. That's a children's book?
It's a pretty shitty children's story.
That's like a Brothers Grimm book.
That was depressing.
And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it to you.
And thus I have returned.
Welcome back. Or, if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Exchange with Mourners taught you about the flood of light.
Dig, we get some water. This exposition's a little thick.
Yeet.
You gotta go up.
I can't go up. Up is the sky. Okay, that's the crystalline mean. I've got Cabinet Curiosity, I got the Amaro launch. Got crystalline mean, I got the rookery. I got the markets. I think all that's left is the pendantus.
Dependence?
Yes, don't mind me. Cool. Alright, hello, Crystal Exarch. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Yes, it seems you were treated the most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted the details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the self-same one you know from the source, transported to the First in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. But although I did not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrivals served to set the wheels of fate in motion. So this man just plucks the crystal tower out of some point in time in the source.
And it's just here now.
I mean, it would have to be from sometime in the future, right? Because if it were plucked from the past, then theoretically it wouldn't have been there in our present time.
Yes. That makes sense.
But the correct answer is shut up.
Fair enough. You've done as I requested and learned something from the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen your comrades. This is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower to organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you.
Please.
Yeah, right. Just like that, then Grahatia is... I'm not familiar with that name. There's something I should know. Extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid no such individual residing in the tower will pass into my care. If we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it's best we focus on the present.
He's like, hey, what about, like, Grahatia who locked himself in the tower? He's like, who?
Oh yeah, I had a question. So...
Okay.
And obviously this is, like, potential spoiler stuff, so if it is, then just don't answer it. But, like... So the Warriors of Light in the first... like, defeated the forces of darkness, kicked all of the Ascians, well, killed all of the Ascians that were of the first, and then, like, the flood happened. And isn't destroying the Ascians what we're trying to do in the source? So then wouldn't we theoretically also cause a flood of light in the source?
Hold on. Back up?
I
What?
see.
because like the Warriors of Light in the first
Yeah.
beat, like, effectively destroyed the forces of darkness, did their job so well that darkness wasn't the thing anymore, and that's why the flood happened, the flood of light.
Yeah.
In the source, the Ascians are, like, effectively trying to bring about darkness through, what was their god's name, like the Zodiarch or something. So if we beat the Ascians in the source and, like, kill them all or whatever, wouldn't we risk causing a flood of light in the source?
I see.
Huh. You'll get your answer halfway through it, Walker.
Okay, fair enough. Greetings, Rider. The Exarch waits you within. Yes.
Look to the one area that'd look really nice if you were an Astro.
I was previously an Astro.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
So go blabbing about it everywhere. Got it.
Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the first for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete.
Becoming naked too.
Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are in truth...
Yeah, naked Thancred, second time.
Yeah!
Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass
being like,
between
alright, I'm gonna
worlds
call
with
the Warrior of
relative
Light
freedom,
from the source to come
they
help
will
me with this
not.
problem. And suddenly,
Much as it grieves
naked
me,
man.
They are stranded here.
Naked white man.
Unable to return.
Naked white man, and then a naked white man and a naked white woman. Well, Yashola's not. She's got a little bit darker. She's a bit more tan.
No, she's white. She's just not like...
Yeah, she's white, but she's just not like stormy white.
She isn't like Snow White.
Then after those two... Oh, a child.
Yeah, naked white boy, followed by naked white girl.
Yeah, and then 2 children.
Crystal X are getting freaky.
Then find a way to send them back. What have they been doing all this time?
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least.
They have.
As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
No.
No.
So you keep that promise. I want a better choice.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
No.
I earned your trust for the moment. No.
No. No.
Alright, well, I guess before I stop recording, this has been an interesting session. Yeah, session 1, but an interesting start to Shadowbringers.
After the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I gotta love technical difficulties. But hey, thankfully we fixed it. It didn't. It stopped freaking out. All it took was messing with OBS and then relaunching the game.
Woo.
Speaking of the game, we all just lost.
Fuck you.
I would say I can't wait to like send this to AJ, but I told him explicitly he's not allowed to watch these because he's still in Heavensward patches.
Yeah.
So he'll get to see this and lose
Later.
the game much later when he's in Shadowbringers. It is a fun experience so far. I absolutely love this game, and excited to get into more of what is widely known as the best expansion. I guess depending on who you ask, because I know a lot of people say that Endwalker is the best expansion.
Yeah.
Hey, a fellow Reaper. Yeah, anyway. That's where we'll stop for tonight.
What do you mean?
Do not look at me so.
How dare you show me that game?